the tee and I walked up and I thought he hadn't spoken to me for all 5 games. And I walked up, hi Richie. He said, oh, hello. Just one thing, Kerry. I notice you laugh at your own jokes. And I said, yeah, it's my trademark. And he said, really? And walked away. So there was my chance for the beige gone.
And you're still laughing at your own jokes.
I am. And that was like 20 odd years ago. I don't think I impressed him as a broadcaster.
Oh, you would have done, Kerry. I don't know of anyone that's words have meant so much. You know, both on commentary or when you met him or spoke to him. You know, he didn't say a great deal, but whatever he said to you, you kind of took in and thought, oh yeah, he meant that. And I think that's what he gave on commentary. He was the master of just short lines, but you could read and tell exactly what he meant by just saying a few words. He was a genius, and fantastic what they've done here. Great for Daphne. I've had the chance to sit next to Daphne a few times. She's a Sheffield Wednesday fan, which is always strong with me in the football fraternity back home. Yeah, legend, fantastic. And we're all trying to, we can't be him, but if anyone ever says to you, or you kind of sounded a little bit like Richie on that one stint that you did, before you take that.
Yeah, fantastic.
You know, I went to him at age 18. I went to his apartment at Coogee.
Well, what's going on here, Kerry? Where are we going with this?
Well, I just wanted an hour with the great man. And he said, yeah, come along. And I sat and we talked leg spin for an hour. And I thought, what should I go with, Richie? What should I leave with? He said, just keep doing what you're doing. And I got in my car and I thought, what? Bowling flat as fart, nude nuts. I wanted more.
And still laughing at your own jokes, which he told you not to do, Skull.
He did. I've never heeded the advice.
What did you say? Nude nuts?
Nude nuts. He said, just keep doing what you're doing. And I thought, no, I wanted more than that. It wasn't working.
I'm going to have to Google nude nuts.
It's a delivery with not much on it, Mike. We move on, but well done to all involved in naming it the Richie Benaud Media Centre. A couple of big issues that I'm not sure why they're being discussed, but I'll put them to you two anyway. Justin Langer, he has just, as coach, won the Ashes 3-0 to this point. He has just won the T20 World Cup. Everyone was saying, coming into the summer, will he retain his job, Kerry? And then there was the talk, well, Langer's done enough. And then there were some comments made after the last test. In fact, is it still gelling with the players, the form of an older school coach with the modern player? Getting results, Kerry, results.
You cannot argue with the results he's had. He's taking a more passive role. I can't believe that he's not getting a lot more accolades for what Australia has achieved. You know, obviously there's been a transfer of power. Is there more player power than there's ever been? Are Andrew McDonald, Jeff Vaughan and Michael Divenuto driving the engine more than they would have under a pre-meeting that Langer had with the players, etc.? Probably are. But also, is 4 to 5 years about the right time span for a Test cricket coach? Many have said that that is about right, and that means Langer's entering his 5th year in the next few months. Is it time that his legacy should be a big Ashes victory in the T20 World Cup and they don't re-sign him? I don't know. But it would be a brave move not to re-sign somebody after winning the Ashes at home and winning a T20 World Cup. What has he done that doesn't that would deny him another contract? I don't know.
And Michael, I noted your article saying if Australia don't sign him, England ring him.
Oh, if vacancies came available, absolutely. I just don't get it.
No.
You know, you've got a coach that maybe does it slightly differently, a little bit the old school way. Is that not right? You know, is it that the players just want to be loved and liked by everyone? Surely it's about respect. You're telling me that those Australian players, if they don't love him, don't respect him, because if they don't respect him, they're not normal. To see what he's done, you know, you go back to 2019, you know, Australia drew in England for the first time in 18 years, should have won that series, and they would have won that series if not for the players out in the field in Headingley where they made mistakes. They then go to a T20 World Cup, and I think in the budget last year, they probably didn't put the T20 World Cup as an achievement possible, but they did it. And whatever he's doing with his management team, with the players, maybe we are in an era where a bit of the old school will come back and work. You know, maybe these players do need to feel a little bit threatened. Maybe they do need the finger pointing at them. Maybe it is a bit too comfortable. And if vacancies did come available, I would jump at the chance to have Justin Langer in English cricket. be careful what you wish for. That's all I say. The grass is not always greener, and Justin Langer, from what I see, he's doing a fantastic job. And if I was Cricket Australia, I'll be signing up for at least a couple more years to make sure that... You've got to remember, in 2019, he was there as a coach in England, take all that information to make sure that in 2023, you go on and win the Ashes convincingly in English conditions, because they've got the squad and they've got the mentality around the group with Justin's kind of leadership to go on and do so. But if you don't want him, yeah, we'll have him.
He brought passion, intensity and pride in the cap after Cape Town. That's a strong platform.
Yeah.
Is he evolving as a cricket coach? He may well be. They say, there's a problem-solving aspect that McDonald and co bring, and they do. But Langer's obviously embracing that as well. There were problems in the T20 team going into that World Cup, but they were solved. There were problems coming into this summer against England. Solved. Is Langer partly responsible for all of that? We don't know. There's got to be a presumption that he is.
The best leadership groups generally have good cops, which are very close to the players, and you need a bad cop. And maybe Justin's that bad cop. And maybe I look at England, I think they've got too many good cops. And actually, England need a bad cop or two. So, yeah, just give us his number, will you?
The Fox cricket team, well led by various legends. Who's the good cop and who's the bad cop?
Oh.
Well, in Sydney, Warnie's the bad cop.
Yeah.
Because he's not happy with the weather.
Yeah, because he doesn't like the weather.
He's got stats to prove it.
Yeah, he has. And they're justified.
Well, we heard the sessions.
Yeah. Now, I think we're a team of good cops.
Yeah, no, we're good cops. A bit of a delay here, but we're having an extended lunch break, but I can see some of the English players out behind me, and I can see the covers off as well, which means we need to start whipping into this show. Joe Root, the other discussion point, again, I'm finding it hard to see what the alternative is. Joe Root, I think this test match, he becomes the longest-term English skipper in history of the game. Well done.
Yeah, fantastic. 60 test matches as captain. Look, I understand there's many stories about Joe should step down. Ultimately, it'd be his decision because he's earned the right. I believe that he should be at the helm to manoeuvre England through this tricky position. The systemic change that we need to go through back home, there certainly needs to be more attention to the red ball team. I'd like to see him at the helm of that to lead England through to 2023. I don't see, and this is a real problem for the test team, I don't see anybody ready. And that's something that I look at that we've never had. We've always had a ready-made next England captain. Yes, Ben Stokes could do it, but do you really want Ben Stokes, who's the main all-rounder, who leads anyway, to take on the mantle of the captaincy? I don't think so. So I'd have Joe Root carry on if he's willing and able to do so. But he needs more support. He needs a system that needs to change. He needs a different ball in the UK, so we produce more fast bowling.
You're on the Kookaburra in the UK?
Well, a ball that doesn't swing and move as much as the Duke. And I think Joe needs a better backroom team, and also maybe a selector or two that doesn't make as many mistakes that they've made over here.
1,700 runs at 61 in the calendar year, yet England lost 9 tests. All he needs is the support level to lift, because he's leading from the front. So come on, boys, catch up. Absolutely. Little like Richie on the beige horse. Do you mind guys catching up?
There's a big gap with Richie. This is Brett Lee to his son a couple of days ago, not looking after his son. There you go. That is, and he's got his arm in the air after knocking over his young bloke. Look at Binger.
Binger off 8 yards. How good is he? And I said to him, what was the build-up? He said, I gave him a sniff before.
So bottom of
just went upstairs.
Went for the double whammy, did he? On the pavement outside.
Off 8 yards.
Now, Vaughnie, we were doing the Big Bash the other night before. I don't want to show the vision yet, but we were talking about test wickets, you and Mike Hussey. You talked about your most famous test wicket. We'll get to the vision shortly. Who'd you knock over?
S. Tendulkar.
S. Tendulkar.
ST.
Well, go to the top.
In the back pocket.
Well, let's have a look at the vision now. This is Michael Vaughan, and just look at the turn on this delivery. That is out. So talk us through it, Vaughnie.
Well, he was struggling for form. I thought I'd just kind of throw one out there. Ball before he'd whacked me through extra cover. I thought a bit wide, a bit high, a bit slower. Look at the action. There you go.
The turn, though.
Just grabbed the piece of the rough. Hit the top of the off stump, still got it. It's signed by Sachin. Got the ball, still got it. Signed by Sachin.
You went after the game and actually asked him to sign it after you knocked him over.
Yeah, Saraf was actually giving the debrief.
In the room.
Yeah, and I saw him giving that. I said, can I just come in? And Sachin was on the left. I snuck in. I said, you don't mind, can you just Signed these 2 things. Straight away, he signed, I went, cheers, and just walked upstairs.
We've got it in the lab.
That was Jim Laker, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was.
That's how we played.
Well, let's
Jim
have a look
Laker
in the lab,
56.
Kerry. This is your territory.
Yes.
What's Vaughan done here?
He gets in close to the stumps.
Bowling average at 93.5. Tendulkar batting at 54s.
Yeah. He gets in very tight to the stumps. Beautiful release point. Full follow through.
Look at
and the Barnet
as well.
How about the Barnet?
Was that real at that stage?
Yeah, all mine, celebrating, yeah.
Oh. And just, that's what off-spinners, they dine out on, gating the best in the world. Hello, Mr. Gator.
Yeah, slightly fortunate, I must admit. I think he was on 90 at the time.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was in the 90s.
Like your bowling average.
Yes, 93 points. Thanks for pointing that up.
You should have bowled more, Vaughan. That's a very good action, mate.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, you should have.
Crossed over, wasn't it?
A little bit, but the way he got in so tight and created the gap between Tendulkar's bat and pad, not many did that.